starts right now.
New at noon, take a look at this surveillance video catching the panicky moments when a pilot lost control of his plane this morning. There he is. The scene unfolding at Bernie Stage Airfield, where a man was standing in the path of that plane, and you can see him there. He had to duck to avoid getting hit by the plane.
And you can see the results of that. Video shows that plane crashed into that hangar right there in the airport. That video just coming into our newsroom. It was taken near Bernie Stage Road and Haddock Way. The Leon Springs Fire Department says it was an 85-year-old pilot, and he was trying to land that single-engine plane after doing some practice flights around 8:30 this morning, and that's when he veered off the runway.
The plane eventually hit that hangar, and when firefighters got to the scene, they found the pilot outside of his plane. He was taken to the hospital. He is in serious condition, but we still don't know what caused him to lose control of that aircraft.
4 homes and 9 people, all showing the impact of just one fire.
The flames breaking out after 5 o'clock this morning. They quickly spread to all those homes and sent people out into the street.
Katrina Weber shows us that at least 2 cases call for rebuilding instead of repairs.
Even before daylight, you could tell from the flashing lights there was trouble in the 1200 block of Florida Street. Another giveaway was the smoke and flames coming from not 1, but 4 homes.
This was a very large fire when it came in originally. Crews worked very aggressive to keep it to those 4 structures.
Firefighters say the fire already had a head start before neighbors noticed and called it in after 5 this morning. Some of them went around knocking on doors to make sure everyone was aware. 3 of the homes, including one turned into apartments, and an Airbnb had people there, and they all got out safely.
The main structure fire was unoccupied. It was being renovated. It was going to be a total loss.
Investigators believe the backside of that empty house is where the fire started. After sunrise, it was especially clear how much damage had been done.
This is a situation where perspective is everything. From this side, the neighbor's house almost looks like it made it through the fire okay.
But from the other side, you could tell this one was destroyed too. Firefighters say the other 2 homes are damaged, but not beyond repair. They don't know what to say yet about how this started.
To take a look at it, obviously talk to the neighbors and see what was going on there. But
in the meantime, 9 people, including a baby, are unsure what will happen next for them. They have to find somewhere else to stay. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
Outside with live cam. Wow. It's like, gee, what did it look like yesterday? Looks like
I was going to say probably
today.
Pretty similar to what you're seeing out there right now. We've got a mix of sunshine and some cloud cover. Temperatures cranking up, though, because we do have those peaks of sunshine out there. Take a look at current conditions outside. If you are fixing to step out for any lunchtime plans this Thursday, 86 degrees right now officially here in San Antonio, but we do still have a little bit of humidity in place. You probably noticed that earlier this morning. So it actually feels like 89 here in town. Current air temperature 89 in New Braunfels. It's 84 in Bernie, but feeling like 86 degrees. Nothing really out there across our neck of the woods in terms of rain. And I do think throughout the remainder of this afternoon, we're likely not going to see as much on the radar compared to what we saw yesterday and the past couple of days. It is still going to be a hotter than average afternoon with a high around 95 by about 4 to 5 o'clock. And we'll keep about a 10% chance for a stray shower in the forecast before the day is done. But as we look ahead to your Friday tomorrow and even into the upcoming weekend, still unseasonably warm for this time of year. Highs in the 90s are going to continue and not much in terms of notable rain chances. We also do have a new drought monitor that came in earlier this morning. It does reflect some of the rain that we were able to pick up on last weekend. We'll get you a full look at that and talk all the details coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, a man in the hospital in serious condition after a shooting on the city's northeast side. San Antonio police say a man and a woman were at a stoplight on Perrin Beidel just after 2 in the morning. That's when a driver in another car pulled up right next to them and opened fire. The man was hit in the face by bullets. He was rushed to the hospital. The woman was not hurt. We're told the suspect took off.
San Antonio police investigating a shootout at a Jack in the Box that ended with 2 people being hit by gunfire. It happened around 12:45 this morning in the 3800 block of South Zarzamora. That's on the city's southwest side. San Antonio police tell us a man was engaged in a shootout with two other men in a vehicle in front of the fast food restaurant. The man was hit in the back. Passenger in the car also hit, both taken to the hospital.
Happening today, you still have a chance to speak with Bexar County's top leader about some of the issues you care about most. Judge Peter Sakai hosting another community conversation tonight, and you're invited to attend. It's the third meeting. It's happening at 5:30 at the Samset David Moore Education Center on Southwest 36th Street. You can read more about it on KSAT12.
The city of San Antonio extending the deadline for small business owners to apply for grants up to $50,000 to improve their business's curb appeal. Business owners now have until October 31st to apply for the facade improvement grant. Qualifying businesses can get anywhere between $5,000 and $50,000 to improve the outside of their business. The city will also be hosting information sessions ahead of the deadline. If you'd like to see those dates and the list of requirements, all you have to do is go to our website, KSAT.com.
It is the first day of an impeachment inquiry hearing into President Joe Biden. It is now underway in Washington. This is a live shot from that committee room. The House members are looking into multi-million-dollar business deals by the president's son, Hunter Biden, possibly linked to the president when he was vice president. Republican leaders today presenting emails and text messages to Chinese, Russian, and Romanian business leaders from Hunter Biden, which refer to his father, as well as financial documents showing payments to Biden family members. This morning's testimony very heated at times. ABC's Liz Landers explains how both sides plan to fight.
The Republican-led House Oversight Committee holding their first impeachment hearing into President Biden, which they hope will uncover evidence of possible high crimes and misdemeanors committed by the president.
Today, the House Oversight Committee will examine over 24 pieces of evidence revealing Joe Biden's corruption and abuse of public office.
Republican leaders admit that they don't have any hard evidence right now, but despite that, they have accused President Biden of being involved in improper foreign business dealings with his son Hunter. Since the GOP took control of the House in January, several key committees have subpoenaed and investigated Hunter Biden's foreign business deals.
Hunter Biden cashed in by arranging access to Joe Biden.
If the Republicans had a smoking gun or even a dripping water pistol, they would be presenting it today, but they've got nothing on Joe Biden.
Even some Senate Republicans questioning whether there's enough evidence to warrant an inquiry.
I've seen $20 million apparently flowing to the Biden family through shell corporations. I haven't seen any direct evidence that President Biden himself benefited from it.
4 witnesses testifying at today's hearing, 3 invited by Republicans.
I do not believe that the current evidence would support articles of impeachment. That is something that an inquiry has to establish.
Biden, for his part, seemingly taking it in stride.
What is your response to Republicans opening an impeachment inquiry into you?
And all this happening today with the backdrop of a likely government shutdown as House Republicans have still not been able to strike a deal with hardliners in their own party over how to fund the government. On Capitol Hill, Liz Landers, ABC News.
The Rock-owned XFL, including the team here in San Antonio, the Brahmas, ready to merge with the USFL, another spring football league. What that means for the Brahmas, we'll explain coming up in sports.
A lot of people looking forward to the upcoming eclipse, and now even more people are going to have a chance to enjoy it. How this project is increasing accessibility for those with vision problems.
In the aftermath of the Robb Elementary tragedy, 2 nonprofits working together to donate service dogs to the Uvalde community. Those organizations are Dog Training Elite and the Malinois Foundation. Employers with Dog Training Elite spend every Sunday for 6 months traveling to and from Uvalde to get those dogs trained.
In doing service dogs, we're getting people back out into society. They're working through their symptoms and working through their disabilities.
6 dogs were trained and donated to students who survived, a teacher, and paramedics who responded to the school.
We're just a few weeks away from an international spectacle, a rare annular solar eclipse. And UTSA is building some devices to make sure that more people can see it. In particular, it'll allow those who are blind or have low vision to watch the event. Tiffany Huertas with how the devices work and why it's important to so many people around the world.
And this is a light sensor. So as we dim the light, it might happen in an eclipse, you'll hear the sound start to change. And so this might be what you hear in total eclipse, just a few clicks.
It's a device designed and developed at Harvard University as a tool for the blind and low vision community to experience a solar eclipse with sound.
And as we come out, you'll start to hear the sound change.
Allison Barilla, an astronomer at Harvard University, is behind this project that started in 2017.
For blind or visually impaired folks, I think it's been really wonderful just to be included in an event, thought about beforehand and not after.
The Light Sound Project has done several workshops at different universities, including UT Austin, Harvard University, and the University of Arizona. And now UTSA students and staff will get the opportunity to build these devices. UTSA student Tiffany Jensen has been connecting with the blind and low vision community and introducing this device.
They've heard of eclipses before, but it's kind of like, oh, well, that's not really for me kind of thing. I can't see it, or I can't see it clearly enough. And when they heard about these boxes and I demoed these boxes for them, they immediately just got really excited. They were like, wait, how can I get one?
The devices made here will go to local organizations. San Antonio and the Hill Country have the rare luck of seeing 2 solar eclipses within 6 months. The first is an annular solar eclipse on October 14th of this year. And the second is a total solar eclipse on April 8th, 2024.
This is a pretty once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for folks. So the more people we can engage in this and educate about the eclipse is great.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
Awesome project that so many more people are going to be able to enjoy the eclipse when it gets here.
Because it's a big deal. We're in the crosshairs of not just the annular eclipse in October, but also the total solar eclipse, which is going to take place in April. So yeah, we are getting very excited for it. Only 16 days away from that annular eclipse on October 14th. It's a Saturday, and for us here in San Antonio, it's going to be right around noon, actually just before that. Again, the moon's going to move in front of the sun, create that ring of fire effect, so definitely get your glasses ready. We're going to have plenty of content to show you eclipse related the week leading up to it, and we're also planning on doing some streams as well on the day of, so that's very exciting. We've got more information on all of that up at KSAT12. All right, new drought monitor came in this morning. Did we see any changes? We'll show you after the break.
I have important news to report. Like a full inch of rain out at the farm.
Wow.
And it was downright muddy.
I am actually really jealous because at my house, we barely got a few sprinkles yesterday, if I'm being honest. But if you live on the north side, even northwest side, over the past couple of days, that's kind of been the sweet spot to find some rain. This is a look at observed rainfall over the past 7 days. So the past week, again, parts of Bexar County, especially the farther north and west you go, did tap into some better totals. Just over an inch in Bernie, 0.12 in Uvalde. Check out Goliad off to our southeast, just over half of an inch. But really the bullseye for multi-inch totals in spots has been across portions of the Hill Country. Over 2.5 inches reported in Junction, 0.84 in Fredericksburg, and in Kerrville, just under half of an inch of rain. So not too bad, all things considered. It hasn't been drought busting, but any little bit certainly helps. This is actually the drought monitor that was released a week ago, last Thursday. I'm going to fade on the new drought monitor that we saw come in earlier this morning, and I want you to pay attention to the southern Edwards Plateau in the Hill Country. Here we go. You can see we did see a little bit of that extreme to exceptional drought cut back farther eastward, but still, for the vast majority of our area, we unfortunately didn't see any notable chances to the drought monitor, and even across the Hill Country, we still do have some classification of drought in place. So we have a long ways to go when it comes to the rainfall department. And unfortunately, at least as we head into the upcoming weekend, we don't have a lot in terms of significant rain chances, just a 10% chance for a very stray shower today. Copy and paste that Saturday into Sunday. And then next week, especially by the middle to later portions of next week, the long-term forecast is looking a little bit more encouraging. So that's going to be something to check back in on in the coming days as well. But first, let's talk about the remainder of your Thursday. Again, we know that it's going to be hot. We know that it's going to be muggy. 93 degrees by 2 p.m., a mix of sun and clouds. 93 by 6. Again, we do have that forecast high point at around 95 by the peak heating time of the day, around 4 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then if you're stepping out for any Thursday evening plans, skies will clear, especially after the sun goes down, and those temperatures will start to drop off, falling through the 80s. But here's a look at your forecast highs for the day. Most of us climbing into the low to mid 90s, 96 in Floresville, stretching over to places like Seguin, New Braunfels, 94 in Canyon Lake, 94 in Rio Medina, and 93 over in Utopia. Again, just that 10% chance for a very stray shower. We've got a high pressure system at the surface level anchored off to our east. And with the way winds fluctuate around that high pressure system and with where we are positioned to that area of high pressure, our winds here at the surface are out of the southeast. So what that means is we're going to see more of that Gulf moisture work its way into south central Texas. So here's a look at your futurecast. Again, by 3, 4 o'clock, coverage is expected to be very low, but we do have that isolated chance for a stray shower, certainly possible across portions of the coastal plains, and yes, maybe even closer to the hill country. So it's something we will continue to monitor. Temperature-wise, it is still going to be hotter than average through the remainder of this work week. 95 tomorrow. A few degrees might be trimmed off into the upcoming weekend, but still, our average high for this time of year is about 87 degrees. So we are still 5, 6 degrees above that into the beginning of next week. Something, of course, we will continue to monitor, but until then, just try to stay cool, and we still have the humidity to deal with as well, guys.
Of course we do. All right, it's Texas.
Yeah.
You might have to do that overlay, your drought overlay in slow motion next time, because I flat out missed it.
There was just a few changes. I wish we had more.
Yeah, we wish you noticed it a lot more.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Noticing the question of the day for SA Live. Oh, look, it's Jen and Fiona.
And they're wearing their fall colors.
That's
we
right,
didn't plan this.
We totally didn't. Don't be jealous, Mike. Okay, so it's National Sons Day and National Daughters Day was this past Monday. So we want to know.
Share your photos. Yes, share love on your children. See, I don't remember this holiday growing up. Do you remember this?
No.
No.
But
you
now
guys?
as moms, we do.
Well, unless my parents just didn't celebrate us. But do you guys remember this?
Never had sons and daughters day when I was growing up.
I thought the question of the day was going to be something like, if you have a son and a daughter, which do you like more?
Oh.
And that would be tough,
Sibling
right?
rivalry.
You can never answer that question.
Love them
Ursula.
equally.
Love them both.
Love
Yes,
them both.
please share your photos. We have that QR code on the screen, and then, of course, we'll put them on TV. Yeah.
Will do. Thank you.
Do they have Grandkids Day?
I'm sure they do. I know they have Grandparents' Day.
I got 5 of them grandkids. Of course, it's their day every day.
Ah.
The Cowboys get ready to welcome an old friend back to town when we come back, and the Texans holding a family event, and CJ Stroud will try to avoid part of that meeting